It was the morning of October 24, 2025, when police and emergency crews rushed to a crash near Novi Road and 10 Mile Road. Among those injured was 33-year-old Changlin Lee, who was being treated by MedStar paramedics inside an ambulance. But what happened next turned a routine rescue into absolute chaos. Without warning, Lee jumped into the driver's seat of the ambulance and took off, leaving stunned paramedics and officers behind. Inside the stolen vehicle were a patient and a paramedic still trying to provide care.
Radio 31, if you have me.
Confirm.
30, can we get an update? Go again. Can we get an update?
Westbound 8 Mile approaching center.
Westbound 8 Mile approaching center. Sorry, 10 westbound 9 Mile. Copy.
If there's anyone nearby, if they can head south, I'm back.
As police units engaged in pursuit, Lee pushed the heavy ambulance past 70 miles per hour, barreling through construction zones and blowing through intersections with no regard for human life.
Raven 40, we're still westbound on 8. 2 miles per hour.
Westbound on 8, 32 miles per hour.
Still westbound, passing my half floor. Collision at 8 and back, collision at 8 and back.
Collision 8 back.
The chase came to a violent end at 8 Mile and Beck Roads when the stolen ambulance ran a red light and crashed into a GMC Yukon, bursting into flames. Miraculously, everyone survived with non-life-threatening injuries. Lee tried to flee the wreck and even reached for an officer's gun before being taken down. A concealed knife was later found on him, and he now faces a stack of felony charges, including carjacking, fleeing, and eluding, and assaulting police, with bond set at $5 million. On February 28, 2025, Trooper Kennedy was traveling westbound on Interstate 30 near the 124-mile marker when he observed a silver GMC Terrain acting suspiciously. The vehicle slowed from 70 miles per hour to 51 miles per hour, appearing to avoid passing the patrol car. The temporary plate was upside down and unreadable, prompting Trooper Kennedy to initiate a traffic stop. The driver initially slowed as if to pull over, but suddenly accelerated, beginning a pursuit. To prevent further danger, Trooper Kennedy performed a pit maneuver at around 75 miles per hour on the I-30 North Service Road near Marketplace Drive, causing the GMC to slide into a ditch and roll onto its side before coming to rest in the median. The driver, identified as Abubakar Haruna, was found unconscious and bleeding, with a strong odor of alcohol indicating she was intoxicated. A small child was pulled safely from the vehicle, though his car seat was flipped and unused. Haruna was transported to Baptist Hospital for treatment, where a blood draw confirmed impairment, and an arrest warrant was filed for DWI and child endangerment. On September 6, 2025, Trooper Wright attempted to stop a vehicle for driving without headlights, but the driver refused to comply and sped off from a gas station. Wright activated his sirens and initiated a pursuit.
10-4-8-18.
37.
Yeah, direct G23.
What's this 20?
Increment extended. Southbound. Was initiated. Frankly, it's going to be in pursuit at Ingram, southbound.
We took a left right in the project.
After several failed attempts to stop the vehicle, including multiple pit maneuvers, the driver continued fleeing recklessly through city streets at speeds over 70 miles per hour, ignoring stop signs and endangering the public.
Right.
23 turn to the right.
The TBI, we're going back to Ingram.
TBI heading back to Ingram, 821.
They're still in pursuit, headed back towards Ingram.
We're over here in these apartments now.
At the apartments now.
The chase ended when Trooper Wright pinned the suspect's car inside an apartment complex. The driver, identified as Jimmy Lee Kegler Jr., refused to exit until officers broke the windows. He was pulled out, handcuffed, and showed clear signs of intoxication, with paramedics also noting the smell of alcohol. Wright's patrol car and a nearby fence were damaged during the pursuit. On July 12, 2023, Corporal Ryan Wingo observed a red Toyota Corolla speeding westbound on U.S. Highway 70 near the Garland and Hot Spring County line. The vehicle was traveling 81 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. When Wingo activated his emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop, the driver refused to stop, continuing westbound. After several attempts to pull the driver over, Wingo informed dispatch that the vehicle was fleeing and initiated a pursuit.
Okay, 22 County. You got anyone in Glenwood right now? Still westbound, coming up on the county line with Montgomery County.
Unit K-28 joint call. CFS comments added.
Advise Pike County, see if they got anyone in Glenwood. Okay, 22 County.
CFS comments added.
The suspect continued for about 6 miles, maintaining speeds between 55 and 62 miles per hour, before abruptly turning onto South Bumblebee Road. The driver continued driving recklessly, swerving into the oncoming lane, ignoring traffic laws, and running a stop sign at McGrew Road while accelerating to 62 miles per hour in a 35 zone.
Coming up on 182, still westbound, speeds of 60 miles. Tipton. Past the pump station road now. Okay, 22 County. We'll be coming up on the second set of 3 lane. Coming up on Bumblebee Road, I got a couple cars in front of me. It looks like they're going to pull over for them once we get past that truck. And we'll turn on top Bumblebee. Speeds range from 40 to 60. He's driving an oncoming lane. Try again.
As the vehicle approached Coca-Cola Avenue, the suspect continued to drive in the oncoming lane. At that point, Wingo performed another pit maneuver, causing the vehicle to leave the roadway and overturn in a ditch, coming to rest upright. The driver, identified as Alberto Cruz, was taken into custody without further incident after throwing a partially full beer can from the vehicle. He showed clear signs of intoxication, including a strong odor of alcohol and unsteady balance. A breath test later confirmed a BAC of 0.11%. Cruz was medically cleared, refused further treatment, and was charged with DWI, reckless driving, and refusal to submit to chemical testing. On September 28, 2024, while patrolling, Trooper Victor Garcia clocked a gray Dodge Ram traveling 107 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone. The trooper activated his lights and sirens to initiate a traffic stop, but the driver refused to comply. The suspect continued westbound, using the turning lane to pass vehicles and running a red light at the intersection of US 78 and Commerce Drive.
78 Commerce. 1037.
10-1.
The Arkansas 028, Union King 0. Be a great Dodge Ram.
10-4, down 415, 53, 63, stay close.
TVI. Roll over.
Trooper Garcia ended the chase with a pit maneuver in a populated area, causing the Dodge Ram to spin off the road and strike a utility pole, snapping it in half and bringing down power lines. The driver, identified as Mr. Hotchkiss, was found slumped over the wheel and showing signs of intoxication, with an open bottle of Beam's 8-Star whiskey inside the truck. He refused medical treatment and became combative with paramedics before being transported to the hospital, where doctors found he had a neck fracture and later transferred him to the MED in Memphis. On September 1st, 2024, Trooper Raul Parada initiated a traffic stop on a vehicle for driving left of center, inattentive driving, and improper turn signal. The driver, later identified as Christopher Jarmar Tucker, initially stopped but then fled the scene, prompting a vehicle pursuit.
Westbound on 30, speed 55. 32. Westbound on 30, speed 55. Approaching 128.
Trooper Parada ended the pursuit with a pit maneuver near mile marker 129, taking driver Christopher Tucker into custody. Tucker showed clear signs of intoxication, and officers found alcohol inside the vehicle. He was transported to Baptist Health Hospital for clearance before being taken to the Pulaski County Detention Center. Shortly after, Cheryl Chanta Tucker arrived with a juvenile, refused to follow commands, and was also taken into custody for resisting arrest and obstructing governmental operation. On December 12, 2024, in Little Rock, Arkansas, 911 callers reported a vehicle traveling the wrong way on Interstate 440 in North Little Rock. Troopers Jackson Shoemate and Hunter Glover responded to the scene.
Hey, it's unlocked. Gotcha. Keep your hands where they are. Keep your hands up. Hey, hey.
The troopers were able to stop the vehicle safely before any accidents or injuries occurred. The driver, identified as Troy Kurt McGee, appeared to be intoxicated and refused to comply with the troopers' commands. He was subsequently tased to gain control of the situation. On September 8, 2024, Trooper Evans was on night patrol when he observed a gray sedan with a missing tire traveling on the highway. He attempted to initiate a traffic stop, but the driver refused to comply and began fleeing.
Are you still around the 282?
10 forward. Still rolling. Center of the interstate. Fort Paul Charles 1373. Fort Paul Charles 1373 out of Tennessee. So, Hyundai Elantra.
10-4.
Slow lane now, but we're still rolling about 60 miles an hour.
Are you considering it 1037?
CFS comments at
About on that. Tempo going showing 1037. We're up to 40.
1037. Yeah, directly to one.
The suspect was not traveling at high speeds due to the vehicle's condition. Trooper Evans performed a quick pit maneuver, bringing the vehicle to a stop safely. The driver was arrested and taken into custody without further incident. It was later determined that the driver was intoxicated, which explained his action. On September 4, 2025, Trooper Landry received a call regarding a possible impaired driver. He responded and located the vehicle, initiating a pursuit.
.56, 1024 with that vehicle at the 6.
10-4, 803.
Hey, everyone, well?
931, go ahead.
298.
10-4, 803.
.56, we're still rolling.
10-4 out of 56.
CFS comments added.
TBI.
The suspect was not driving at high speeds, and the reason for fleeing was unclear at the time. Trooper Landry quickly performed a pit maneuver, safely stopping the vehicle. The driver was placed into custody without further incident. A subsequent investigation confirmed the driver was intoxicated with a BAC of 0.302%. On August 25, 2024, a Georgia trooper observed a white Toyota Camry traveling westbound on Bay Street from Fahm Street. The vehicle was failing to maintain its lane and speeding, with radar confirming 50 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone. The trooper attempted a traffic stop, but the driver fled through a parking lot, over curbs, and onto the sidewalk, prompting the start of a vehicle pursuit. During the pursuit, the driver operated recklessly, spinning tires, swerving in a zigzag motion, and entering lanes improperly. The vehicle reached speeds of 92 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone, and nearly sideswiped other vehicles while navigating curves and changing lanes. To end the pursuit safely, the trooper performed a pit maneuver, bringing the vehicle to a stop. The suspect was taken into custody, arrested, and was clearly intoxicated, showing signs of severe impairment.